So, for our science processes video, we decided to do number 7, which is relationships. And the title of our activity is typing speed. The materials you're going to need are a computer and then paper and a pencil. So, we'll get out some paper and grab a pencil or a pen. Basically, what you'd have the students do is you'd have them practice typing for 2 hours each week using an online typing program. So they'd log into the program and they'd begin typing, and ideally they'd do this a few times in the week. And then basically at the end of the week, they test their typing speed on a particular passage. So you give them, you could have a piece of dialogue like from a book, for instance, or we could use just about anything. So for this, I'll use a study guide for math, and I'll begin typing it. And they'd probably start pretty slowly. So you'd have them type that up, and then at the end of that, they would then basically keep track of the day and the time and the week. So for me, I'd have it is October 13th, 10-13-21. I'd type out what my speed was, so it was about 50 words per minute this time. And then you'd basically that was my typing speed was 50 WPM. So now it's that was my typing speed for week 1. And now for week 2, you'd have them do it again. So they'd, pull up the program here, and then they'd begin typing and practicing some of the words that are in the program. And then at the end of the week, I can practice off of this again. So I can type it, and mathematical practices, CCSS. And I'm getting a little faster at it. So my time this week was for the week of 10-18-21 would be 60 words per minute. So now I have 2 strands of data. So you'd continue this for about 6 weeks, and theoretically, I'd move up probably about maybe another 5 or 10 next week, and I'd say maybe another 5 or 10 the week after that, and then it would probably start to plateau somewhere as I start to reach my height of typing speed, the fastest I can go. And basically, then you'd get a sheet of paper here, and what you'd do is you'd make a graph. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Draw that. It's a simple graph. And then 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. So for week 1, I put a dot here because I was at 50 words per minute, and then 60 for week 2. I'd say I'd probably get to about 65 for week 3, maybe 70, somewhere in between. And the graph would probably it would go up at first, and then it would start to plateau around here in weeks 5 or 6 as I start to reach my max speed. And basically, after you've made the X and Y axis for your graph and you've graphed out the data, you'd then ask what is the relationship between typing speed and practice time, if there is one at all. And your students would write a statement of the relationship between the two. So I'd write out here that as practice time increases, so does typing speed. And this would be my statement that basically as the hour of practices increases, the typing speed also increases. And that was what was true for me. And then basically, now at this point, you would explain to the students this is a direct relationship because they both increase. And you could show students examples of an inverse relationship, such as increasing speed leading to reduced travel time. Then you could have the students consider outside factors that may have impacted the relationships that we have inferred, like amount of sleep. You could ask, what outside influences may have impacted our typing speed or quality of practice? And basically, the idea behind this activity is it introduces the idea to students of relationships as they discover one variable is dependent upon another. And so they don't operate in isolation from one another. Students also recognize the potential impact of outside factors such as the amount of sleep they got or whether or not they were hungry that were not controlled that may have had an impact on the determined relationships. So that is the gist of our experiment in Project 7. I'm sorry, Part 7, which was relationships.